Hey there, gamers. Welcome to the Secret Levels podcast. This week, break out that Mega Buster I know you have in your closet, because we're about to give it to you, X-Style.
X gon' give it to you.
I'm player 1, Toby.
And I am player 2, Goobs.
And we do a weekly retro video game review show, playing some of the best and some of the worst games ever known to man.
Sometimes for our pleasure, and sometimes for our terror, but we hope your ears like us, folks. And we're also part of the Somebody's Network.
That's right. Follow the Somebody's Network on Instagram and Twitter at Somebody'sNet, and that's at SomebuddiesNet.
Go check out all those shows. Tons of great people, tons of great friends. And your ears will like them as well.
That's right. Speaking of friends, I would like to start off this show by saying we're doing a little bit of an experiment on this episode.
And it's not what you think, folks.
we do that off mic.
For our pleasure only.
So we're doing a raid-off is what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a raid-off against the Interstate Gamers podcast. They also rate and review older video game titles. And
newer ones as well, like us.
Yes, they're kind of like us.
They live in two different parts of the country. We live in two different parts of continents.
That's right. So we're a lot alike, but they take a whole different approach to reviewing video games. So we've kind of challenged each other on...
just a little friendly gamemanship.
Yeah. Let's rate the same game, and then we'll come together and discuss our differences later on at a later date. So, go check out the Interstate Gamers episode on Mega Man X after you've listened to ours.
And check out their past episodes as well. It's a really fun show.
Yes, go check out all of their stuff.
They're great dudes. A lot of fun. But definitely check out the Mega Man X episode.
Yes.
Because that's a game we're going to be discussing and breaking down today. Because you know we love the Blue Bomber around here, folks.
Oh, yes. And I've got to up front admit, Mega Man X is my favorite Mega Man.
See, I'm more of the old school Mega Man, and you're more of the newer school Mega Man. Well, newer, older, you know what I mean.
Well, see, and my love for Mega Man X started because Mega Man X was the first Mega Man game I ever played. I didn't know that there was an original series. He was just X always.
X gon' give it to you.
So,
oh man,
yeah,
you're a deprived child.
Yeah. So once I found out that there was older games, of course, I eventually, would go back and get those games when I was younger. But X, this game's gonna be hard for me to review without the nostalgia glasses on.
Well, is that a siren I hear for a nerd boner going on?
Yes. Yes, it is. So let's jump on into this. Let's slide into this. I was
going to say let's jump onto that then.
Let's slide into this. How about that? Because
yeah, let's power slide. Let's jump off the walls and get right into it. Here, let me charge up first.
So... we are talking about Mega Man X. This game was released in 1993. It was developed and published by our favorite, Capcom.
Yes.
This game was released originally on the Super Nintendo, and then it was put on Sega Saturn, the PC, GameCube.
The Amiga?
No, not the Amiga. GameCube, PlayStation 2, And those are part of the Mega Man X collection bundles. On
4 too, PS4.
Yeah, they currently in 2018 released the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, which the first part of the collection has Mega Man X 1 through 4. Is that right? And then the second one has 5 through 8.
I believe so. I bought them both in a bundle, so.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't going to mess around. I needed all my Mega Man.
How many different collections of Mega Man games do we have? Let's be honest here. It's pretty nuts.
Well, there's also a PSP remake of this game, which I also own, but I wasn't able to find to pop in and play it for a little while to review that one. But I do remember it being awesome. So it's got a lot of cutscenes and stuff that aren't available in the original Mega Man game. So it adds a lot more story elements to it.
Well, that's cool.
So this is a single-player action platformer. Do you want me to tell you about the story that's happening in this game?
I'd love to hear about the adventures of Mega Man and Dr. Wily. Nope. Mega Man and Dr. Light.
Nope.
Nope. Shit.
X and Sigma.
You were close.
I would love to hear the story of X and Sigma.
So, Mega Man X was created by Dr. Thomas Light from the original series. Sometime after the original Mega Man series, X was designed to be able to make his own decisions, but Dr. Light feared that he may be dangerous. So
He's a real boy.
That's right. He is. He's the real-life Pinocchio.
Yeah, it's like a fucked up, strong-ass Pinocchio.
So Dr. Light sealed him away in a diagnostic capsule to do 30 years of testing. Something ends up happening to Dr. Light that's not explained in the game, and he was not able to...
Whoa. Is this where they got the idea from Demolition Man?
Possibly. Now we need to see which came out first. But Dr. Light wasn't able to open up the capsule, and X was forgotten about. But he was found almost 100 years later, after being put in the capsule originally, by a man named Dr. Kane.
It's gotta be Kane.
Dr. Kane copied X's designs to create his own robots with free will called Reploids, because they're replicas. Out of nowhere, a virus begins to spread throughout these Reploids, where it makes them evil and want to harm humans. They are branded criminals and called Mavericks. X is unsure of himself and his strength, so Dr. Kane creates a general robot named Sigma to hunt the Mavericks. But Sigma becomes a Maverick himself. And now it's up to X and his powerful friend Zero to stop Sigma and the other Mavericks. So that's the story. So they revised the story a little bit in the later games and in the PSP version, which doesn't make sense because Dr. Kane in the original game makes Sigma to fight the Mavericks, right?
Yes.
In later games, they say that they found Zero, Sigma found Zero, and Zero is patient Zero of the Maverick virus, and he gives it to Sigma, and that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why Zero is not evil anymore. But then why did Dr. Kane create this Sigma if there was no Maverick
And
virus
also, the
yet?
whole thing wouldn't have happened if because Bile would have got you in the beginning if it wasn't for Zero.
Right. Yeah, it's all crazy. But see,
It's all misconstrued.
yeah, and it doesn't. There's a big plot hole in this, and I'm gonna call it out. I don't care what any Mega Man fan says. This is my favorite game ever, so I'm calling it out, and I still love it. But anyways,
You're going to take a 0.5 off your end score because of that.
no, never. Okay, so this game should take about 2 to 4 hours to beat, and a speedrunner named Nero_X2 on speedrun.com has a time of 31 minutes and 7 seconds on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I watched some people play. This one guy, again, watching the Awesome Games Done Quick, this one guy was playing shirtless. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, some of those speedrunners are pretty hilarious. Just their get-ups and stuff. There's one guy that I like to watch that wears the cowboy hat, and he's got a picture of like
How very Texas of you. Or Texan.
But he's so funny and calm how he plays, and he's just like, yep, there's a little jump right there. There's a little bounce, little neck patty
So he's
whack.
the Bob Ross of speedrunning?
He's the best. I need to remember what his name is, and we need to get him on the show and just talk to him because he is so cool. He's so good too.
That could possibly happen.
So, anyways, let's talk about what you're doing in the game. What exactly are we doing, Goobs?
We face off against the 8 different Mavericks, and then we go from level to level, breaking them all apart, taking a piece of their soul, making it our own, and using their weapons against their friends in an ongoing war until we get the Sigma. And there's also a lot of platforming, and perilous pits, and spikes, and freaking zones with air jumps you gotta hit properly, and there's hidden heart containers, there's sub-containers, there's extras that you need to get, upgrades. You need that helmet, folks, to break those rocks with your head. And yeah, there's a lot of things to do in this game. It's a lot of fun.
There's quite a bit more things to do in the X series than there is in the original series, and I think that's one thing that I always liked more was you get the upgrades. We were talking about the slide boots earlier, so you can dash. You get chest armor.
Those ones are pretty much a gimme.
Yeah.
Because you get them right away at the Chill Penguin level.
Yep. And
And
then
then the other ones, you got to really, sometimes you got to use a different thing to get to that, and sometimes they're very much hidden.
yeah. Sometimes you have to battle a little sub-boss before you can obtain the armor.
Oh, that one was a bitch on Stang Chameleon level.
Oh yeah, that one used to get me when I was younger, and then I realized it's not hard. It's just tedious because he doesn't have a health bar or anything, and you just sit there and fire at his head forever.
And then he's a guy with pretty much a claw that comes out and gets you. And I'm playing, and Jen's watching me play, and she's like, "Well, he's trying to tickle you. Oh, he got you. He's got you. You ticklish." I was like, "Fuck off." I'm playing a man's game right now.
Great. Now every time I play that, I'm going to be like, "He's going to tickle you. He's going to tickle you." Damn it. But this is a lot like the other Mega Man games. You get one weapon from one of the main bosses of the level, and it'll be the weakness for another boss on another level. You'd have to figure out which weapons are weak.
Unless you're fighting Flame Mammoth, you can pretty much take him down no matter what.
Well, a lot of these bosses in this one, you can just play with the Buster. Like you can beat everyone with just the Buster. But if you want to make it quick and easy, you can use certain weapons. But certain weapons actually will work on multiple bosses. Like if you have the boomerang power up, you can use.
Which is pretty much like Cutsman's weapon.
Yeah, it's exactly like Cutsman.
The greatest weapon of all time.
You can use it on the mammoth, the flaming mammoth person. I can't remember the name, and it'll cut off his.
His name is Flame Mammoth. So close.
So close.
You were close.
Thanks, Professor Oak.
But yeah, you can cut off his trunk to where he can't throw the fire at you anymore, and you can throw it at the octopus. I can't think of his name either. Damn it. I've been playing this game for 20 years.
I was just going to go through the 8 bosses and we can just discuss our thoughts on them quickly.
Yeah, but let me finish my thought. You can use the boomerang, the cutters, the boomerang thing to cut off his tentacles so he can't use his weapons. So it's kind of cool. You got to keep using.
I did not know that. You learned something new.
It's not the first try that you do it, but it's like the third or fourth time you hit them with it, it'll knock off their trunk or their arms.
Oh, so he can't spin suck you?
Phrasing.
Yeah, that's what it does.
That's what I call it. Like when he makes a little thing and then he comes down and sucks your health, he makes a little typhoon.
Yep, that's right.
The spin and suck. Not only does it spin, it does suck.
So tell us about the 8 level bosses.
So I'll just run through them quickly here. You start off, I'm going to go in the order as well. So if you're going to play this game, go by this order. It's the easiest way to do so. Or just be a maverick and do what you want. The first one that you would go through is Chill Penguin. Pretty simple boss, pretty easy pattern to go through. Level's not so bad. Little spiky guys that fly around and try to fuck your day up, and that doesn't happen too often. Then we're going to go to the Spark Mandrill. Nice electric kind of boss. Kind of looks like Toby.
And the ice weapon will freeze him every time you hit him with it. So it'll freeze him, and you can...
Yeah, it takes a lot of damage. Ice weapon's cool, too, because that's the one where you hit a wall and it'll break off into 3 parts and bounce backwards at you. So you can time it out pretty well and hit the bosses with that.
Yep.
Then you got the Armored Armadillo, which remind me a lot of the Armored Killer Armadillo from Naysay. Check it out on the Derailers podcast. And then you got the Launch Octopus, like that little, the spin and suck. He's not fun. He shoots a whole bunch of missiles at you that are guided towards you. You get his weapon after, which is very nice, the homing missiles.
Yeah, that's a very handy weapon.
But yeah, then he'll do the spin and suck, and he can drain your life and replenish his. So if you run out of your weapon that it is to kill him, or you're just trying to take him all with the Buster, watch out for that. You can use a dash to try to get away from the spin and suck, but he will get you, and he will suck you dry. And then there's the Boomer Kawanger. He's the guy that you get the little boomerang thing from, the blade cutter that we were talking about that cuts off the octopus's legs and the elephant's trunk. And speaking of, nope, not the elephant. He's not next. You know who's next? It's Stang Chameleon.
He does hang from the rafters, though.
He does. He doesn't have a baseball bat.
He is like the wrestler Sting.
And he wasn't that bad to fight. Do you have a problem with fighting the Sting Chameleon?
You know what? Him and Boomer are my two least favorite levels to play. Those are my just two absolute, like, I'm like, oh, great, I gotta face these two dipshits.
Oh, like the levels or just fighting them in general?
Fighting them, and I don't really like their levels design so
With
much.
I like the little axemen that hit the logs at you. I enjoy those
Man,
guys. They're
those
fun.
piss me off. Those get me every single time. I'm too dumb to to time it perfectly. I feel like I could do it when I was a kid, but now my old, worn out...
Your old man fingers.
Yeah, my old, worn out thumbs can't do it anymore.
We're going to have to retire these things one day.
Get new prosthetic ones.
Put them in the secret level. No, we'll get robot ones.
Yeah, there we go.
It's like we're 6 again.
Who's after Stang Chameleon?
Storm Eagle.
Storm Eagle.
Very patriotic maverick. His level's not too bad. Normally I hate air levels, like Airman level from Mega Man back in the day.
Yeah.
I forget which one it is, but Airman, he sucks. And blows.
Yeah, that is true.
Lots of jokes here. Yeah, Storm Eagle wasn't that bad, because he pretty much just flies around at you. You can really time his attacks pretty easily.
Yeah.
And once you have the Stang Chameleon triple shot, the Stinger shot, the Stinger splash, you just take them right down very easily.
Yep.
And then, last but not least, the good old Flame Mammoth. You gotta have the traditional fire level in Mega Man. This one's not nearly as hard as the ones that you've gone through before, because there are some very, very tough ones.
And then you get to take on Vile and Sigma, the
Yes.
two main bosses, and Sigma's dog, which I don't know the name of.
Let's call it Pooples,
Oh,
because he likes to poop a lot.
another fun thing to throw in here about the depending on which level you beat, and then you go to the next whichever, because you get to choose out of the 8 bosses which level you want to go to in whatever order you want. But if you beat Chill Penguin
Choose
first,
your own side-scrolling adventure, man.
right? If you beat Chill Penguin first, and then you go to the Flame Mammoth stage, all the lava in there is frozen over.
Oh, so that makes it easier.
And if you beat Launch Octopus, and then you go to Spark Mandrill's level, the electric won't be going through the little tubes in Spark Mandrill's level.
Oh.
Because I want to say like it's a generator at Launch Octopus's layer, and that's what's powering Spark Mandrill, or it's something. But each one, like,
That's cool how it's all connected.
yeah, it changes the level depending on which bosses you beat. So it's kind of neat. So there's a lot of replay value going back to see like, okay, which does this affect when I break or when I kill this boss, you know?
Maybe that's why I found the Flame Mammoth level so easy, because I beat Chill Penguin first.
Yeah, go play his level first when it's still lava everywhere, and it's hard. It's really hard.
So maybe I take that back then, Flame Mammoth.
Let's talk about some of the buttons and stuff, because, you know, this is a platformer. You're running around shooting enemies, getting to the bosses, getting the main weapons. Let's talk about the controls, because you jump, you've got a buster, you've got the charge shot. And if you get all the armor, you get a supercharged shot.
And then if you get all the armor and all of the heart containers and all the sub-tanks, what do you get there, Ryu?
Hadouken!
That's right. That's what you get. You get the most powerful weapon in Mega Man X's arsenal. X's arsenal. You get the Hadouken.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, you have to collect 8 heart tanks and then 4 energy sub-tanks, which you can store extra health that you pick up throughout the levels and fill it
Pretty
up.
much a new E-tank.
Yeah, so like if you're down low on health, you can use one of those. So you have to get 8 heart tanks, you have to get 4 energy tanks, all the weapons, and all the armored upgrades. And if you keep playing Armored Armadillo stage, at the very end, if you go to the very top before you go into the boss's level, you have to get the little energy that's there.
Very well-timed jump as well.
Yes, you got to jump over all those robot birds that are in the way and not get hit by them. But if you do it, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 times. You have to play the entire level 4 or 5 times.
Just do it 7 to make sure.
Yeah, once you have everything collected, and Dr. Light will be there with a new capsule, and he'll tell you about the Hadouken upgrade that you're going to get. And you just do it the same way as in Street Fighter.
But your health gauge has got to be full. or else it will not work.
Yes, down, quarter circle, forward, punch, and that's how you do the Hadouken. Like you said, your health has to be full, otherwise you can't use it, and it one-shots every enemy in the game.
Yeah, so you can go right to Sigma, laugh him in his face, and be like, Hadouken!
Right.
Meow, 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 meow. That was a dying noise.
How about we move on and we'll talk about some of the music in this game.
The music, it's a fucking Capcom game. It's a Mega Man game. You know you can put this music on in your car anytime, having a bad day, a sad day, a happy day, a glad day. I know two of those things all mean the same thing. But you can put that into your car stereo, because people still have those. Like, burn a CD, you know?
Put your cassette in.
Yeah, put an 8-track on this shit. And you can bump this. You're going to be going at least like 65 miles per hour or like 130 kilometers per hour. Just flying down whatever stretch of road you are. Just banging the best beats that has ever been generated in this form. It's so much fun, this music. It just gets you going. It's hype music. Non-stop.
What's your favorite song? Like, which level song is the best to you? Storm Eagles. That's it.
It's not Storm Eagles.
Storm Eagle has some awesome music. I love the Storm Eagle soundtrack. I think it's great. It's perfect for the in the air kind of level. I don't know. It's cool. I've always loved that one.
As much as I hate the boss, I like Launch Octopuses.
Oh yeah.
All the songs are great. It's hard to pick just one.
It really is.
The opening theme, like even the menu theme, everything.
Yeah,
and they still have the classic, like going into the level. They still have that classic noise you've grown to love over the years. It's like, yes, let's go.
Right, and it's got good sound effects throughout the whole game. The Mega Buster sounds awesome. It's got good sounds everywhere throughout the game. There's nothing that's obnoxious or terrible in this game to me.
No, it's music to my ears whenever I play a Mega Man game, especially this one.
What do you think of the graphics? Do they hold up still? Do you think...
Well, I was playing on the PS4 version, so the remake, I guess, where they crisp it up a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I'll probably say the same thing if I played it on Super Nintendo. The graphics hold up to me. Like, you know, as we always say, we love the 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit around here. Even 64. Shout out to you, Nintendo. But yeah, no, it's like, these pixels bring you back. Like, you see things, and it just reminds you of a better time, a better place. It's like, yes, I had no cares back then, and I have no cares right now, because I have some great graphics, great controls in my hand, and I also have great music playing into my ears. And it's just, I don't know, it's a step back in time whenever I go back and play a Mega Man game to a nice, simpler time in life.
Yep.
Did I just take your review there at the end of the show?
No, not at all. I think the graphics look awesome still. I think it holds up really well, especially with where we're in the era of video game developers trying to mimic the old retro style and trying to make games that look like Mega Man X and make games that look like that style. So I think it holds up, and it still looks better than a lot of those.
Like, after playing 20XX, you played that as well.
Yes.
And
I love that game.
20XX, it's a great game, but it doesn't have shit on this.
No.
Like, it's not even close.
No.
Like, you can try to copy, but you're never going to be the fucking original.
Right.
They're just a maverick.
And, there's a lot of really impressive sprites in this. All the character designs are awesome looking. It didn't look like they cheaped out on anything and just were like, put something together real quick. Fuck it. And, like, even Mega Man blinks. Did you notice that? He blinks.
Yes, he does.
Holy crap. It's such the small detail that they paid attention to in this game, and that's another reason I just think it looks good, it sounds good, it plays really well, the controllers are tight. I'm not even to the review yet, my rating yet. I'm already gushing over it.
Like, I've been playing 11 recently as well, and the graphics still are like they're not that far apart. It's just, I don't know. X is just, it's beautiful, man. Oh, little single blue tear.
You want me to give you some fun facts before we get into our reviews?
Here's your fun facts with Toby.
So you can buy a copy on the NES for about $25 loose, and closed in box, it'll cost you about $80 to $90.
$20 loose, yeah, that's definitely American prices, let me tell you.
What do you think it runs up in Canada right now? A little more?
I saw it at Gaming Expo I went to 2 weekends ago, and it was $55.
Well, if you need an extra copy, Goobs, I've got an extra copy. Because
we'll talk off air.
So, Super Rockman was the original name for this game because in Japan they do call this series Rockman. So this was going to be Super Rockman, and I guess that would mean that it would have been Super Mega Man in North America for us. But I don't know. I don't think they got that far before.
I guess that makes sense. It's the whole like step up, right?
Yeah, that's what they did a lot of the time with Nintendo to Super Nintendo. Everything
Super Punch Outs.
Yeah, everything just became super.
Super Off Road. Super everything. Super Metroid.
Yep. So in the PSP Maverick Hunter X version, like I said, it's a complete remake of Mega Man X. They just call it Maverick Hunter X. But if you beat it, you can play as Vile, which I think is really cool.
Are you in like the whole suit and everything? Do you get like the mech with you, or
No. You run around but you have the you have like a small buster, and you can use the cannon that's on his arm, that's on his shoulder.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, also in that Maverick Hunter X, you can defeat Vile's ride suit in the first stage. You know that first stage where you're helpless and he has to capture you?
Yes.
You can actually jump and just shoot at his head and blow up his mech suit, and it doesn't change anything. He still captures you, but he doesn't have that mech suit. It doesn't change the story or anything, so...
Yeah, so don't waste your time.
Yeah. You can do it just because it's kind of neat, but whatever.
Yeah, in the speed run, when you fight him again, and you get captured again for the second time, spoiler alerts, I guess I said that late, but... Yeah, a lot of speedrunners get it down to like you only have 3 bars left. So when you go in, he'll grab you, and then you just continue on.
I did notice that too. They go in with lower health, so he go ahead and shoots the little net thing at you that grabs you. So Zero was actually going to be the design of X originally, but there was fear that the fans wouldn't be happy with such a major change. And
he's not blue.
Yeah, he's not blue.
And he has hair.
So
long, beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah, so they made a new Mega Man, and then they used Zero as his companion, his buddy.
They're great teaming, just like Ryu and Ken.
Yep.
Or Ryu and Kon.
Oh, you can!
Launch octopuses. Launch Octopus, his weapon, I was trying to put an S on that and make it plural, but I couldn't, or like, not plural, but ownership. Pusses?
You were close.
Launch Octopi. No, Launch Octopus, his weapon that you get from him is the homing torpedo, right?
Yes.
In the original version, it's misspelled and says horming torpedo. So
at least it wasn't horny torpedo.
That's a whole different game.
It's like from Spinal Tap. Gonna sink her with my flash torpedo.
And more on Launch Octopus on the US box art for both the PC and the Super Nintendo versions. He is on the cover, Launch Octopus that is, but his color scheme is purple instead of his red color scheme in the game.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
really... I
really...
thought you could say he's wearing pants.
He's got a cape on and he just looks completely different.
He's like Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah.
Has a little rose in all of his tentacles.
Yeah. So, in the original Mega Man series, you know the baton robots? They call them batons, whatever they are. The big fat looking bats.
Yes.
That have the brown on their wings. There is...
Yeah, the brown balls.
Yes. There's one in this game. There's one in the Mega Man X series. And it's in Armored Armadillo's level. And the rest are like... It's the same bats that you have to fight throughout that level, but it looks like they've lost all their skin or whatever was on those bats.
Yeah.
So, but there's one original one, and that,
Oh, see, I noticed the bats. I never noticed that one, though. I'm going to have to keep an eye out when I replay that game.
I remember seeing him when I was younger and seeing him even in my recent playthroughs. And when I read that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. I've only ever seen one in that game. So it's kind of like a throwback to being like, this is the last one in the main.
Yeah, the ones that shield up over their face and they drop down and then come at you.
Yep. So there's only one in the entire game.
Man, I need to get a tattoo of one of those guys because I only have one on me.
And then, I guess that's it. That's all my fun facts for this game.
There's a lot of good fun facts, Toby.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Our audience thanks you too.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Toby, folks.
All right. So do we want to jump into the rage-o-meter?
Yeah, let's rage.
Oh, come on!
So this is our patented rage-o-meter. I don't know why I'm calling it rage-o-meter because it's just usually the rage meter.
Oh, well, let's put an O behind it. Wouldn't it be a Rage X meter?
That's true. Okay, so this is what as we play the game, and the game frustrates you and pisses you off to no extent, this is what that rating is. It's a 1 to 10 scale. So, Goops, let me ask you, how pissed off does this game make you?
I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm not gonna sway myself this time.
Liar.
But there's a situation that happened beforehand.
Let's hear about it.
So let's delve into Goops' real life here for a second. So sometimes I get sloppy with my video games. And I put stuff in places that it shouldn't be, but then it's like a good game of hide and seek. You're like, oh, this game's in this game. This game's in this game. You go through and you get to revisit some of your friends. Like, oh, hey, I'm going to put you in your own home now. So everything's good. You go through your collection. You get to see, like, oh, I have this, I have that. Put them all back in their cases. It's good. But then you come to it and you're like, this game is not in any of the cases that it should have been in. Where is this game? And this happened with the PS4 version of Mega Man X Collection. Legacy Collection, sorry. So then I went forth, losing my fucking mind, going through every single Blu-ray that I think I watched in the past little while, every single DVD in the past little while, every single wrestling DVD, and that's quite a few that I watched in a while, and then I go into the kid's room. He's still up, thank God. Like, not right now, but he was at the time.
Right.
And then I go through all his DVDs, because we might have been watching something together, and then I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I'm start losing my mind. I texted Toby a couple times, like, fuck, shit, like, just losing my mind. I send him a DM on Twitter, and just, like, absolutely going insane.
I don't think I could have talked you off of this ledge either, because all the messages, I finally saw them all at once, and I was like, what the hell is happening? As I was reading through them, and finally it was like, problem solved. I was like, oh, well, that was easy. Not for you, but for me, it was like, oh, I didn't have to do anything.
So, I'm running around in a frantic, and I'm a bigger gentleman. I'm sweating profusely just because I'm so stressed out. I'm losing it. I look like a fucking sea monster at this point. I might as well have barnacles hanging off my beard. I'm just going around, and then I'm thinking hard at this point. I'm like, okay, it's not in any of these, and yes, I checked the cases like 3 or 4 fucking times. I'm going through, like, maybe it's hidden behind this instruction manual. Nope, not there. I checked the Mega Man Legacy Collection thing like probably 7 times. And then, so I'm like, okay, when did I play this game last, and what movie did I watch? I'm like, Jackass 3D. We watched it in a room. About the PS4 in there, we watched it. Random movie, random shout-out. But, so I'm looking around in the Jackass case. I'm like, it's not fucking there. Where the fuck is it? And I look at the TV, and I see a disc upside down on my dresser. I'm just like...
So, what's the span? How many hours did this take, or how many minutes?
A good hour.
A good
of
hour.
me just losing my mind and opened up everything I have.
Well, Goobs, if you would have let me know that that was missing, I also have a sealed copy of Mega Man X Legacy Collection. For some reason, I bought it twice by accident. Long story, but anyways, continue.
Yeah, no, it's gonna get up to Canada, no problem. That's only going to cost you double what the game's
No
worth.
shit.
But yeah, I looked down and I saw like the glimmering glimpse of hope, because there's another disc that I lifted up and it wasn't it. So I'm like, fuck, I was like contemplating smashing it. And then I just lifted it up. I'm like, like all was right in the world at that moment.
So your rage was already pretty jacked up before you even stuck the game into the system.
Yeah, no, it calmed down once I heard the music and like the soothing graphics and everything. Like, so I'm gonna stay at a 6.
Okay.
The situation beforehand was a fucking 15.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, the game is, after playing Mega Man 11, going back to something like this isn't that bad. Mega Man 11 makes everything else feel like a cakewalk. Because 11 is fucking hard. The levels are long, we'll get into that. But, yeah, no. This game wasn't that bad, like, for Rage Meter for me. As you heard, the situation beforehand was absolutely apeshit. I am texting my wife and just be like, do you know where this game is? She's like, I think I saw something on the table. It's not on the fucking table. Do you know where this game is? I had to text my 2 wives and just fucking... I didn't text Ripken, though. He's my 3rd wife. Like, I have a lot of Mr. Wives going on.
And I wasn't even there for you. I don't even know what I was doing, but I saw all the messages and I was like, oh, he's not having a good time right now. Thank God I didn't have to talk to him.
You saw it when it was all concluded.
Yeah, I got the end of it.
Goobs, do not jump off the roof.
So my rage meter, I'm gonna give it a 5, because I don't think it's got enough challenge to where, even though I'm a seasoned player of this game, it still gets me sometimes. You know, there's some stuff that I don't struggle with, but I know it's coming up, and I'm like, damn it. Like the stupid woodsman robots that are hitting the things at you. I always get hit by those. Can't avoid them.
Oh, sorry. What about the level, the guys on the octopus level as well? That little guy that comes out of the sand. He's like a kind of dragonfish kind of guy.
Yeah. What about him?
He pisses me off just because he's so slow.
The only thing in that level that pisses me off, this is where my rage comes from, is those submarine-looking enemies, and it blows.
Oh, I thought they were blowfish.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the blowfish ones, but there's the mini bosses. There's 2 of them, and they have like a.
Oh yeah, the tank. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like an underwater tank looking thing. But those piss me off. There's a couple of bosses,
also known as a submarine.
Whatever. Tomato. But yeah, there's a couple of the bosses that always make me struggle. The very last, after you beat all 8 of the bosses and you go to the signal levels, you have to fight all the bosses again in a gauntlet type battle, and you have to
as you do with every Mega Man game.
It's a Mega Man staple, and Sigma is no joke. He's a little bit difficult, so be prepared to have your energy tanks filled up all the way, because you're going to need some extra health when you battle Sigma and his dog, and then Sigma again. Or wait, the dog, Sigma, and then Sigma again. There we go.
Yes. Sigma equals dick.
So it's fun, but I'm going to give it a 5. I don't think it's the hardest Mega Man game, but it's not...
Oh, not by far.
But it's not the easiest either. I don't think it's necessarily just a cakewalk, but it's not terrible hard.
Like you said, we're seasoned, and like this is just the first of how many X games? 8?
Yes,
so,
8 X games and 11 normal games and a soccer game. And then a bunch of other spin-off.
I wish there was a Mega Man Golf.
That'd have been cool.
So I can play it and piss Jan off.
I was trying to think of some kind of Mega Man's Dream Course, like the Kirby's Dream Course, but I couldn't think of it fast enough. So, how about we move on, though, to our actual ratings of the game. We're going to give it a 1 to 10 rating on how much we enjoyed or hated this game, 10 being the best. What do you give it, Goobs?
I will give this game a solid, a holy 8.5.
Nice.
It's not like my favorite Mega Man game. It's up there. We're going to review my favorite Mega Man game coming up shortly, hopefully.
Very shortly, hopefully.
Spoiler alerts, it's 2. But, but like, yeah, I didn't really I remember playing this game a lot through my childhood. I didn't really grow up with it like you did, so I don't have that total nostalgic factor. But it is a solid game through and through. All the bosses are very memorable and enjoyable. And the music, like we said before, we gushed about how awesome and great it is. I'd love to go see like an orchestra do like a whole bunch of Mega Man music, including most of these songs. That would be absolutely amazing.
That would be pretty cool. I'd be in for that.
Or just like, I don't know, a DJ doing Mega Man beats and some guy freestyling about Mega Man. I'd enjoy that too. If there's something like that out there, let me know about it. But yeah, no, you go from anywhere from the sprites. Like I said before, everything is tight as hell, controls included. You cannot go wrong with playing Mega Man X. And yeah, that's why I gave it a solid 8.5. Just absolutely beautiful game. Capcom nailed it yet again with the Blue Bomber. There's not a stinker in the series, folks. There's not a stinker.
Well,
let's talk about 7 and 8 later days. But
I was about to say some of the later games, but I feel like, especially for the X series, the first 4 are like the core games to play. Those are the first. Those are the best out of the X series. The first 4.
Yeah, then again, like the 2.5, like the. So I retract that statement, and I'm not talking about like the Mega Man Network battles.
Yeah, no.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't ever play any of those either. But for me,
I tried.
Did you?
I tried to play those. Yeah, it's like Digimon.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I needed my classic Mega Man, but I'm gonna give this a 9, and it's not on the nostalgia basis. If I'm gonna say nostalgia, I'm gonna say a fucking 20. Man, this is one of my top favorite games of all times. But gameplay, I think it's solid. I think the music is solid. The controls are perfect. I can't find...
What else is solid, Toby?
Me right now. But no, I really...
You sound like Kermit the Frog. Hey-oh.
But no, I really can't find anything wrong with this game. There's nothing buggy or glitchy, really. I feel like it's the best progression you could have from the Mega Man series to up it on when it first came out on the Super Nintendo. Like, they did exactly what they needed to do, and they upped the look, they upped the gameplay, they added some new features. They did wonderful with this game. So
yeah, it was nice to go find this different parts and everything like that. It's different, like you said before, from any Mega Man game that preceded it. But they kept everything the same at the same time, just adding a few new features, but they took away one special part that's near and dear to our hearts, man.
What's that?
And that's Rush.
Yep. Rush is not in this, but to make up for that, you get Zero. And Zero is a bad motherfucker. And I would like to say...
Wait, he doesn't come out, you can't jump off his back, you can't ride him donkey style?
Well, I'd like to say that he's so cool that I really do, when people ask me, why do you have such long hair? If I think about it long enough, it's because of some of the characters I grew up loving, and Zero being one of them, or Ken from Street Fighter. There's a lot of video game characters that I think inspired me to have long hair when I was really young, because I've had longer hair more than half of my life now. So I've always had long hair for more than half my life.
Fucking the end of your hair probably was around when you played this game the first time.
No shit. But I do. Zero, all the character designs in this are cool. Vile looks cool. He's a Boba Fett ripoff, but he still looks cool. Zero... Sigma looks evil as shit. His dog is awesome looking. Like, everything.
He kind of looks like our friend Crumb.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
If Crumb was like complete bald.
We need to see some cosplay from Crumb as Sigma.
Yes. That's for next Halloween.
But yes, no. So
that's not a diss, Crumb.
No,
You're
not
still
at all.
beautiful.
He is
my Canadian handsome friend.
He is evil though, just like Sigma. He tries to take over the world all the time.
He knows dark arts.
But yeah, so I'm sticking with a solid 9. Love this game. Nostalgia meter would be much higher, but I think it is a solid playthrough for anyone that loves platformers and shooting and little puzzles, because it's great.
Solid 9 in the rating, solid 4.5 in the pants.
Finish him.
So before we get into plugging our other shows, Goobs, We again want to shout out the Interstate Gamers podcast. Go check out their review on the Mega Man X game. See what they think about it. I'm real curious on what they think, because next episode, we're probably going to have them on, and we're going to discuss how we all feel about this game overall and see how this experiment turned out.
And we'll probably just end up shooting the shit as well, just about video games in general. Should be a very, very fun episode with two great dudes.
That's right. Us. No, they're awesome. But anyways, Goobs, will you tell us about your other shows?
Fuck you for making me laugh so hard. But yes, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Goobs, at GoobsWN. Also, it's the same thing on Instagram. I made like four or five posts. I swear I'm going to do more, but I'm learning. Baby steps. But you can go check out the Derailers, follow them on Twitter, at the Derailers. It's my wonderful wife, Jenny Bean, my best friend, Ripkin. We sit down and shoot the shit every single week, and we just pick a random topic and just go right off on it. Sometimes you get some special little segments, sometimes you don't, but sometimes you get a lot of good memories, folks. That's what the Derailers are all about, friendship and memories, and we share a lot of memories on that show. The more you know. And then there's the more we don't know, depending on the topic sometimes.
Right.
But we have fun doing anything every way, or doing it all anyways. You can also go check out another little project me and Ripken got going on. Go to YouTube and search up Derailed Wrestling. And you're going to not regret doing that, because you're going to see some of the best wrestling action you've ever seen with your own 2 eyes, or 4 eyes if you wear glasses like myself. So I've been called 4 eyes a lot of times in my life. You're going to see a lot of different CAWs that were created by us, and a lot of different podcasters on there, and some are YouTubers. Who knows who you're going to see. And you know what? You're going to see some great action. And you know what your ears are going to hear? Decent commentary.
Decent at best.
Decent at best. So go check that out, folks. Like, comment, and subscribe. Toby, what do you got up your sleeves?
Well, I am part of the Secret Transmission podcast, and we talk about conspiracies. We talk about the supernatural. We talk about UFOs. We talk about the strange and unusual. And
spooky.
That's right.
I had to get one in.
Well, you can find us on all the major podcasting platforms, and you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, where I'm very, very, very active on both, at Secret Transpod. But more importantly, you should be following the Secret Levels on Instagram and Twitter at Secret Levels Pod. And you can also follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, and we also have a group where you can chit-chat video games with us. You can tell us what you think of the Mega Man X series. Or
show us your finds that you picked up at the swap meet this weekend.
I love seeing what other people find and seeing what good deals they got. So come on, join in.
If you find them up in Canada, let me know where they are, because everything is fucking eBay prices up here.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's brutal. Unless you're looking for GameCube games, you can check out that post on my Instagram. Shout outs to that. But if you want to put some nice little retro-inspired logos on your chest, go to tpublic.com/user/secret-levels and have a great time doing so. You can pick different colored t-shirts. You know, you want to wear some teal today? Go ahead, wear some teal and put our 2 wonderful cartoon faces on it. And you want to wear some black? Yeah, put our Nintendo Power-inspired logo on there. Because you can do whatever you want on tpublic.com/user/secret-levels.
That's right.
Tapestries? We got them at tpublic.com/secret-levels /user/secret-levels.
Hey, don't forget about those pillows and phone cases, too.
Oh, where can you find those, Toby? Here, I'll tell you right now.
You can go to tpublic.com/user/secret-levels.
Do you have a phone? Do you need a case for it? You can go to tpublic.com/user/secret-levels.
We're just going to do 30 minutes of pitching, trying to get people to buy our junk.
Do you need condoms?
Launch Octopus, I am X, and I'm here to stop you from your tyranny. Did you say that you're about to poison all the humans' water? I'm gonna stop you before you try anything fishy. That's it. I'm gonna cut off those damn tentacles with my boomerangs.
Aw, man! You're not cool at all! There's just a fish in my mouth, and why'd you cut all my tentacles off? Game over, folks.